Alright, so this guy. I've got a lot of complicated feelings about this guy. And they kind of sum up what makes this anime so remarkable to me. The morality and line between being kind and using someone. And that's what I want to talk about for a bit, because this guy, he tricked me. Qifrey is a patient man, caring. He's adopted these little gremlins. He's responsible for teaching them about magic, cooks all these delicious meals, even takes them to the stationery shop. What a charming lad. But the most recent batch of Witch Hat episodes have gone further into what's driving Qifrey, and it just doesn't sit right with me. When I really zoomed in and focused on the mentor figure, well, little things that seemed innocent and innocuous before, like him erasing people's minds and kidnapping children, they just stuck in my craw. I just couldn't shake the feeling that something about this man wasn't right. It's an interesting way to take a character, to pull a reversal on the audience, have them do something that calls their morality into question, and if what you've seen of them so far is real, or just a means to an end. I think with Qifrey it works particularly well to take the kindest character and invite the audience to resent them. Qifrey is multifaceted. He's weird, scheming, not telling anyone the truth. He's sinister, wiping minds. He's loving and carefully deciding the right approach to help make someone feel at home. It's a lot for one guy. It's a character where the Sirius isn't afraid to not hold your hand and let you kind of figure him out as you go. And I'm sure there's a lot more to come about this, but bear with me. And if that means his motivation isn't entirely clear for a while and the world starts to feel a lot crueler, then that's what it means. It's refreshing. Qifrey is the protagonist of a completely different anime, which is a lot darker. It's not a new trope, having a more morally grey outlook. But what I think Witch Hat stands apart from a lot of examples is how much Qifrey's different nature is framed by the audience's point of view and connection point. It's this impressive narrative and visual distinction that really elevates it. Qifrey in his grown-up normal life is kind of a darker-edged character, navigating a world which has been established as quite rough in a lot of places. Then through the point of view of his apprentices, he's the caring girl dad. Both views, they better flesh him out as a person. It will be easy to have his character completely change when he's chasing after the brim hats. But it's more confident to just let the man Qifrey be painted in gradually as we learn more. When we see him through Coco's eyes, he's one thing. And when he's alone, he's another entirely. We all show different faces to different people. Even when we see through his eyes, we learn a little more. It's an anime making someone the star of their own story, even if it means they can be unlikable in areas. In a lot of ways, Qifrey is enforcing a status quo that doesn't work for a ton of people, because it serves his secretive purposes. Qifrey, he seems kind of complicated, and I think it's an impressive trick to make Qifrey do something quite awful, to call into question the motives behind half of his actions in the show so far, and then have the confidence to leave that thread dangling, to make the mentor, the teacher, or that twink over there, I don't know which of the three I'll use in the title, but to make him completely unlikable for weeks, and not even explain why he did it? Well, looking back, I think he was always a little shadier than I noticed. Okay, so looking back, I'm beginning to think this Qifrey guy, he might not be the perfect little angel I thought he was. That was the original title for this video, by the way. Qifrey, the perfect little angel that I love. It was mainly about how he'd inspired me, how I can ask my barber for his haircut, how cool his glasses are. But now I just look back and it's all, well, I mean, you meet this guy and he seems nice enough, and yeah, he's a bit secretive and seems to show back up in the nick of time in a suspicious way. Like here, was he just hiding around the corner that whole time? That's a little weird, Qifrey. I mean, sure, he saves her from the ice, but looking back at how easily he messes with people's memories in the future, he might be about to just wipe her mind and leave her an orphan here. Once he starts to teach her magic, yeah, he's quite patient and kind and nice, and sure, he's pretty quick to find the main way to be empathetic to this girl that's lost everything, to set her at ease. And I guess that's why his coldness in other areas feels kinda haunting to me. More so than most little character obsessions in anime, you know? It's like he's applying that same capacity for such kindness to ruthless pursuit of an unknown goal, and that's ominous. But he's fucking taunting me here? What, he's going to introduce us to this magical world, all this romantic and fun stuff, and then just start waving around mind wipes? Looking back, the anime enjoys cutting to his eyes whenever he's being particularly suspicious, like talking ominously about fear in episode 2, you know, whenever he's hiding something, windows to the soul and everything. I mean, you want more evidence there's been something shady or sus in 6-year-old speak the whole time? What about this guy? This guy whose whole purpose is to watch over Qifrey's little magic school, make sure he's being law-abiding. But he has an obvious personal attachment to Qifrey. He's his old friend. That's a conflict of interest right there. So he gets impunity to be as corrupt or distracted as he likes. He's circumventing the whole system they have set up to stop stuff like this from happening. But he does seem really nice. Still, mainly. I mean, he cooked nice food, that bread looked delicious, and sure, Coco is pretty traumatized, but she did always want to be a witch, and he's being so gentle. And he tries his best to bail them out here. He's a passionate and caring mentor for these girls. Moved heaven and earth to find them after they get lost. But yeah, I mean, he does have his good qualities. But I'm still pretty sure he's a bit off. Think back on those scenes investigating the Brim Hatch trail. What's he doing, eh? He's threatening people to keep stuff to themselves, covering crimes up, leaning on witnesses. You didn't see nothing. His watchful eye turns out to be completely corrupt. He's bribing him with fine wine to look the other way, for fuck's sake. He's intimidating witnesses. He's running his own little group of witches away from the authorities. He's having standoffs with the cops whenever they meddle in his affairs. He's paying off the detective that's supposed to keep an eye on him to keep things quiet. He's running the atelier like a mobster, a handsome mobster who, to be fair, happens to be very good at raising apprentices and baking and having a cool sword. Alright, that's probably a minute or two longer than I should have spent on the silliest part of the video pretending Qifrey is the devil. I think it's the Witch Hat Atelier's benefit that it can make this guy totally likable and charming, and then have him turn around and do something completely hateable. And then a few weeks later, have him be a real dick about it again. But it still works really well. So when you look at him from the perspective of someone in this society other than his apprentices, he isn't a particularly admirable person. Even before he wipes a guy's memories for the crime of helping him, he turns out to be a lot more cutthroat about his personal goals than I'd thought, and shockingly hypocritical. We've seen the effects of what he did in the same way we see the effects of the positives. Both from the point of view of a child. The camera likes to frame Qifrey from the height of an apprentice, the old 3 apples tall viewpoint. That's where the camera often is positioned. We see it when he's being nice, and we see it elsewhere when Qifrey has taken the memories. Both are from the perspectives of a child. One just happened to be a victim, and the other a child that's useful to him. The series is in no rush to make the audience like Qifrey again, to rationalize his behavior. It gives the central cast considerably more depth, even if his morality in the world is a little harder to pin down. Qifrey's morality, in the context of this anime's world that I've seen so far, it feels ambiguous. He's not really like a lawful kind of guy. He doesn't care about magic rules when they impact him. He's also chasing down the Brim Hats, though. He's not on board with using forbidden magic even if it helps people. Like, he's here healing to those who got hurt in this carriage disaster. So that's not like an altruistic moral either. He's entirely driven by an agenda that isn't clear to the viewer for a while. He has something motivating him and he doesn't want to tell us. I'm not privy to it yet. This QT is keeping a lot of secrets. But whatever is motivating Qifrey, he's willing to go to the extremes for it. He's willing to do things which are a little less tasteful than the anime's pretty, cozy, comfy vibes would imply. The mentor is possibly just using Coco. Who knows, though? Those up to date on the manga, I guess. Like, sure, he's capable of being a very understanding person, applying just the right techniques to build a young person's confidence up, but he's also capable of wiping someone's mind and leaving another child confused and frightened to cover something up. He could become something inhuman to achieve his goal. And all over, there's the eye thing, especially when he's giving his students a lecture on the importance of memories and how cruel it is to rob someone of them. Or even when he's transitioning from charming to terrifying here, it's always the eyes. Qifrey's little morality speeches and ideas, they go out the window when he needs something. I don't think a lot of anime have the confidence to make such a key figure, have such different faces they show the world, and let the audience decide which the real one is. To take someone we mainly see through the eyes of children, trustworthy, exciting, caring, and show him through his own eyes, capable of real harm. Undercutting that trust, which is essential for his role in nurturing young minds. There's a confidence in allowing a core character to be that deeply flawed without explanation. But he often feels more like a cog in an immoral machine, really. And Qifrey is a rare example that's actually bristling up against the issues with their society. I think it pulls something interesting about the world of Witch Hat into focus. Every adult we meet seems messed up in one way or another, and despite how pretty things are and the flowing cloaks and pens, precocious kids learning something they love, it's a world of greys, where it doesn't seem like there is a simple moral choice. It's just that the central character is too young to really click with that yet. Through her eyes, the world's morals feel a lot simpler, but through the eyes of others, the problems of witches and their society become a lot more apparent. The world of Witch Hat is quite a harsh one. It's magical through Coco's eyes and grasping, crawling desperation out of Qifrey's. No adult in this world of witches seems untouched by whatever darkness is behind it. We often see the adults through the eyes of the apprentices, the children. The camera is at their level, and we're trusting in the stories that he tells from the books and their inherent morality. I think a lot of his darker moments are when he escapes their viewpoint, and we see Qifrey as he is. Flawed, maybe capable of some rough acts, yeah, but a fascinating character that seems to be the hero of his own story. Hey, thanks for watching if you sat all the way through, especially the silly bit. Anyway, so if you want to see some more videos from me, you know how it works. Alright, cheers.